Hello, my friends on YouTube. Today is April the 17th, 2022. Today is Easter Sunday. Happy Easter for those who celebrate Easter. Happy Hanukkah or happy Passover for those who celebrate the Passover. And we wish for all Muslim happy celebration of Eid Iftar uh, after Ramadan. Okay, today today's video is Islam and the progress of humanity. To progress, often you struggle, and I don't mean it in the Marxist communist sense. Uh, no, but you really struggle to improve yourself. On the individual level, the family struggle to advance, the nation struggle to advance, the whole world. And normally the struggle is everyone wants to gain his freedom or her freedom. To be free is a feeling that everyone acquires. Even animals. Animals want to be free. They don't want to be living in a cage. And they want to be free, and they take their chances because, for example, a sheep or a goat, it's actually protected when it is taken care of by its owner. However, the human desire as well as the animal desire is to be free. And to gain our freedom, oftentimes there are forces that, even on the animal level, forces try to contain you and farm you. The farmer, when he has goats or sheep or cows, he farm them. He feed them. He give them medicine. But they are not free. They do what he let them do. Multiply or produce milk. So it's either they are bred for meat, for milk. They have to produce something for him. Or muscle power, because in the past, the tilling the land and agriculture, it was done by muscles before the invention of mechanical things, tractors and all that stuff. It was you, if you didn't have a cow or a horse to help you to till the land, you had to do it with your own muscles. Okay, so human seek freedom, especially human. We actually seek freedom. The problem is there are others who want to treat us as animals and farm us and have us walk like these farm animals, cows or sheep or whatever. Cow or sheep, I'm sorry. Okay? So that they can benefit from us as if we are their properties. That's found in two types of ideology. I spoke about that so many times. The communist socialist system, the Marxism, is one person on top, like we see in North Korea, Kim Jong-un. He is the god of North Korea. Okay? He can decide what's moral, what's immoral, what's good, what's bad, how the country supposed to take what direction, and so on and so forth. But also, this is found I don't want the video to be erased, so I'm going to speak in an indirect way. 1400 years ago, we received a book with a teaching saying that the person from Allah, Allah means God, is uh, he's in charge, and that person is in charge of economy, politics, military, everything. He can tell you what's right, what's wrong. So practically, that was communism in disguise, putting Allah on top to make it look like a religion so that you can control people. This guy was really ahead of his time. He came 1400 years ago, way before Karl Marx, but he was really ahead of his time. And he established that hierarchy system, which is whatever you want to call him, the leader, the caliphate, the whatever, on top of the pyramid. And this guy, he's the god of this region, as Xi Jinping or Kim Il Sung. I'm sorry, Kim Jong Un now. Kim Il Sung, that was his grandfather. Kim Jong Un now, he is the god of North Korea. Maduro is the god of Venezuela, and so on and so forth. These people are gods by force. They set themselves as gods. And if you don't follow the ultimate solution, you're dead. So anyway, this is an introduction to what I'm going to say, because in human progress there is a struggle, and as I said, it's not like the communist struggle, but people trying to improve themselves and their lifestyle. And with that progress, they want to be free. At the end, no one wants to sit in a cage and a person on top tells you you're supposed to produce this, and the other group's supposed to do farming, and the other. No, I want to do what I want to do and leave me alone. Okay? This actually, I remember in Egypt, I don't know if this is still practiced now, and also in the former Soviet Union, by the way, and probably in China until now. They used to give us ration, like they give you a certain amount of oil, sugar, I can't remember, during the President Nasser presidency. That was until 1977, when President Sadat wanted to get rid of this, and people really they got accustomed to being slaves, sitting in a cage, and somebody throw them a piece of food, a piece of bread, or a piece of cake, something sweet. They became slaves, and they were happy to be slaves. This is similar if you have a dog or a cat and it gets domesticated. They cannot go back to the wildlife where their ancestors were. They are domesticated, and they enjoy that kind of easy life. Food is coming, I don't need to worry, I just sleep and be lazy, play a little bit. Hey, I don't have to worry about getting my own food. So this was practiced in the communist system and still practiced in some countries until today, and honestly these people are not free at all. Even though they may think they are free, and unfortunately in America and in many countries now, this is the trend, how to get the crowd to follow the leaders, to be in total charge, like Kim Jong-un, like Xi Jinping in China. Many of these people today, they praise China and Xi Jinping for what they are doing, for the well-being of the whole. Lock up the country. They lock people in their apartment building. They seal the door shut in a whole apartment building in Shanghai now because they say corona is out of control, coronavirus. And this happened in the beginning in 2019, 2020. They sealed the buildings shut. And whoever survive, he gets natural immunity. Those who die, just throw them into the garbage. Animals. So that is one of the. I'm going to speak about the negative because I don't end the notes with negative. So I speak about the negative first. We find out that I read in BBC Arabic about 3 days ago. The scientists like Fauci and these guys, they are warning people of Zika virus. Of course, Zika virus is a bad virus because it actually damaged the baby inside his or her mother's womb. So it's a very bad virus. I mean, no one wants his or her child to be born with a brain deficiency. It affects the brain. But this affects the babies before birth. And even after a certain period of pregnancy, I believe this virus cannot even affect the baby. So in a way, it is not really the most fearsome virus, but to me, it looks like they are pioneering, paving the ground for the new tidal wave of a new virus. Because today, coronavirus, it became the alert that they put the people on in 2019 and early 2020, it was like certain death coming to humanity. I got the coronavirus, I said that before. I didn't even notice. My wife got it. She didn't get sick. She lost the sense of taste for about 10 days, and she's fine. Children, no problem. Little kids, no problem. They didn't even feel. They got infected. 3 years old. Nothing. So how do you say, like that big thing of corona have passed in the West is no longer a threat. We reached herd immunity now. So it's not a threat. They cannot use it anymore. So they are pioneering the ground for a new virus, and they can make new virus. Okay? All governments, they are working together because all of them want that control to continue. Total control. So they are talking about the fear of Zika virus. Okay? Zika virus will not infect me, will not infect my wife, will not infect my children, will not infect anybody who is on the face of the earth. Only some of pregnant women may transmit it to their baby in their womb. And that's very, very small percentage. So we shouldn't be alarmed about Zika virus, but they are paving the ground for that to come. Be aware. We see in China, in Shanghai, locked down. Shanghai is locked down. And that's my hope now, because if we remember in 1989 in the Tiananmen Square incident, the students came out seeking freedom. And when you speak for freedom, you are willing to pay a price. The tanks went the city down. They went to the street. Tanks, military tanks. And they curbed everything. Some people, they say 10,000 students were murdered, killed, cold blood, with tanks. Some people say 10 times that, 100,000 students were murdered. Nobody knows, because especially at this time, there was nothing to go to China or come out of China. Everything was total control. However, I think the leaders came to a point that we have to give them something, but not enough to rebel again. So they start to open economy a little bit so that people can have some income, and they can buy, they can feel I'm free. I can buy food, the food I want, not what the government is giving me monthly. I can rent an apartment, not living in the slums, and so on and so forth. So yes, there was some economic difference, but not freedom. Still the government controlling everyone. North Korea, Venezuela, Cuba, and the European countries, the leaders in the free world, whether it's Europe or the Americas, they figured out, yes, these people, these leaders, they have total control. Why shouldn't we be the same? Control the public, the masses, and we are on top. Just give them a little bit, that it wouldn't make a difference. And that is what's happening. Corona is used to get to that goal. The deep state and the leaders, the political leaders, to achieve that total control. And they are pioneering now for that. My hope here, because if this doesn't happen, it may lead to, in my opinion, it may lead to a World War III, which will make World War II like a child's play, because that will be nuclear, that will be Armageddon, because many countries possess nuclear power. When nuclear bombs were used in 1945 by United States to end the war and to cut the hope of the Japanese forces that there is no way out, you have to give up your ambition to control the world. Pakistan, Iran, there are many countries possess nuclear bombs. And if it starts, it will be everybody's bombing each other with nuclear bomb. When the two bombs were used in Japan on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, these were like primitive nuclear bombs, and they did tremendous damage. Right now, the military possesses non-nuclear bombs that it's more powerful than Hiroshima and Nagasaki nuclear bombs. So imagine the magnitude of nuclear war. China possessed this, Russia, Britain, United States, so many countries, and they have them by the thousands now. So what happens here in China, my hope, because now the people in Shanghai are rebelling against this lockdown. They are standing against the government. I hope, because if this happens, we will avert nuclear war. So if the Chinese people in Shanghai and in China in general rebel against the system and break that communist ideology, get rid of it, and then the West has to change. The West is trying to follow in the foot. They cannot say it out. They don't say it out loud that we want to be communists like North Korea and control the people, but that is the objective. That's the goal, to reach this. And they use the coronavirus as a step to kind of like control you, stay in your home. They use Zika virus or whatever virus from now on, or whatever event from now on. They knew the formula, what to do, so that you stay home and follow the leadership, follow the guy on top, whether it is the king, president, or the caliphate, because the caliphate is the same system. We spoke about that many times. He is the guy on top. He is in the position of Allah, and he can tell you what's right, what's wrong, politically, militarily, economically, everything. He can tell you what type of food to eat, what you shouldn't eat. Let's say, for example, a type of meat, pork, anything goes at this moment. Okay, so I'm hoping that this can happen from within, like it happened in the Soviet Union. Nobody attacked the Soviet Union, but it was proven that it's a failing system and it collapsed from within. I hope that will happen in China. So there are many negative things. We're not going to talk about it all, but I mean, you can talk about Russia and Ukraine, you can talk about Syria, about Yemen, about Libya, about many things. But anyway, the second negative thing I would like to talk about is in Egypt. I'm going to put the link to this lady. Is a Christian in Egypt they call Coptic. Egyptian Coptic woman disappeared from her home for a few days, and then she returned with the headscarf and declared with a miserable face, that this face cannot be convinced that the path that she declared that she is taking now, which is Islam, is she chose on her own. This is happening in Egypt for a long time. The Muslim Brotherhood, or that teaching that came to us, that evil satanic stuff, came 1400 years ago. It's either you follow this or we kill you, or we kill your man, we kill your husband, and we take you as a sex slave. And in my opinion, as I see this woman's face, she was threatened that they will kill her husband, they will kill her family, they will kill her parents and extended family, and she had to accept it. So she is coming to the media saying, I converted to Islam. This is not the first time happening in Egypt, and this is not actually a request to the president of Egypt. This is your responsibility. This is, you must interfere and stop these gangs from practicing this nonsense that they are used to for 1400 years. You have to stop these terrorists. And the book, this teaching, throw it to the garbage. Saudi Arabia did that. Okay. So, now, the positive. Saudi Arabia and Rwanda, for the first time, the first Ramadan, without that loudspeaker that it used to disturb people, and they call it prayer. This first time in history of this teaching, this stopped. This is a very positive step in the destruction of this garbage. Egypt now, they are following, but not as fast as Saudi Arabia. Always in Ramadan, uh, people sit after they break their fast, watch episode, and they really do uh, good production for that time. But it used to be like average stuff. I really don't watch TV, but now artists, actors, and actresses, they started to have the courage and the guts to criticize that nonsense that we had for 1400 years. And we have an actress who came and put that, like Hamas, they put there is no God but Allah, like a bandana on their head, no God but Allah, and whatever this is was his prophet. And they are criticizing that indirectly. And that is creating upheaval in the Islamic world. So this is progress. This is tremendous progress. 5 years ago, all that group of actors and actresses would have been murdered out on the street during daylight, in the open, and they will not find the killer. This is progress. That's the end of the video. Just I would like to say something quickly. Last week it took me time to upload the video. There was a problem. I don't know if it was with the internet or what have you. And while I was trying, I erased few videos, and then anyway, I don't understand much of these things. So if somebody would like to help, can communicate with me through email. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Please comment and like and share. Thank you.